Hello Tubies, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well, I hope you're doing fantastic, I hope everything is beautiful in your life. If it's not beautiful in your life, that's your problem, not mine. So, jokes aside, what I wanted to talk about today was a spell to heal the physical self. And I'm going to tell you right now that no spell exists. No spell. Okay? If you cut off your arm, no spell gonna put it back together. If you break your bones, no spell gonna help heal them. If you cut yourself deeply, no spell is going to heal you. This type of topic really pisses me off, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people really believe that there is an actual spell that will heal you from things like breast cancer, or heal the physical self from injury, or heal the physical self from disease, or whatever the case is. And the truth is, nothing exists. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hate to break it to you. However, there are some remedies that you can use. But again, with the medical research and talking to your doctors and making sure you can ingest, smell, be around, touch, look at, or think about these herbs without breaking into rashes or dying instantly. Okay. So if you have a cold, eucalyptus leaf and osha root will actually help you. So you can have a bath in eucalyptus leaves, you can drink eucalyptus tea. There's two types of eucalyptus, or maybe there's more, but one is very poisonous and one is not. And I believe that the one from Mountain Rose Herbs is not poisonous to ingest in a tea. Again, make sure that you do your medical research and you look up the type of herb. Mountain Rose Herbs also puts the Latin name of the herb. So you can use that to look up to see if this particular version of the herb, like this type of eucalyptus leaf, if you will, is poisonous to ingest. There are two types of elderberries. There's also, I had elderberries at one point, and juniper berries is another one that's really great for colds and stuff like that. But elderberries, there's two types, and I can't remember if it's the American elderberry that's poisonous or if it's the European. I believe it's the American. I could be wrong. It may be the European elderberry that's poisonous. One of the elderberries is poisonous, and you need to be careful when using elderberries. I believe that the herbs from Mountain Rose, in terms of elderberry and eucalyptus, are not poisonous, but do not quote me on that. Okay? You quote me on that, you get sick, motherfucker, that's your own damn problem. Eucalyptus will help with congested noses and sore throats, and basically just helping you to get rid of that icky feeling of being sick. Osha root, on the other hand, will actually help to clear sinuses. I mean, eucalyptus leaf will as well. But osha root's really great at clearing congestion, clearing your head, clearing your throat, clearing your sinuses. But, if you're pregnant, don't touch osha root or you will have a premature abortion. Okay? It doesn't matter how far along that baby is. Osha root will kill the unborn child. It is all over WebMD, if you don't believe me. Osha root will kill your child. It's all over the internet. I mean, I don't trust WebMD at all, but basically it's all over the internet that osha root will kill your unborn child. These two herbs, though, if you're not pregnant and you're not allergic, will help you with common colds. Frankincense I like to burn if I have a cold, or if I have a head cold or a chest cold, because I feel, for me personally, I feel like it actually helps. It clears out anything in the air that might be making it worse. It clears, I'm not gonna definitively say medically and scientifically that it clears bacteria and all that stuff out of the air, but for me, if I have a chest cold, I feel like it's easier to breathe if I have a couple pieces of frankincense burning on a coal. Again, that's just me personally, but you never know. So with white oak is also something that I will turn with these three into an incense, because for me, when you think of white oak bark, when you think of bark in general, what is bark to a tree? Bark is a hard, toughened layer of skin on the outside of a tree that protects it from parasites, from the weather, from basically anything, really. Okay? So what I like to do, and it's not really a spell, but I guess it is, because anytime you put your intentions into something, apparently that's a spell. But what I like to do is I like to make all of these into an incense and burn it with the intention that I'm going to clear up, become uncongested, be able to breathe, and then be protected against any sicknesses. Now, it's very important to understand that if you are sick, if it's not getting better within a certain amount of time frame, if you're running high fevers, if you have an infection, that you need to go to the doctor. Okay, magic can't cure obesity, it cannot cure cancer, it cannot cure depression, it cannot cure bipolar, schizophrenia, it can't cure any of those. Now, while at the same time there are herbal supplements that a lot of people like to take, such as, for example, the Lady Grave Dancer, who's talked in the past about taking certain types of tinctures in apple cider to help with depressive attitudes and depressive behavior. There's no scientific evidence to back up the claim that it helps to cure depression. But again, there really isn't any scientific evidence that I have found that states that it doesn't help in some way. Okay? So these particular herbs burned in an incense, okay, will help you to clear the air, clear your sinuses, clear the congestion, and with the appropriate intentions will help you to protect yourself from those types of parasites. Okay? But it's also very important that you go to your doctor, that you talk to your doctor, that you express your concerns, and that you ask about using herbal supplements and so on and so forth. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're allergic to eucalyptus and you never knew it, and the doctor finds out for you. The point that I'm getting at is it's very important that you do the mundane before you even do the magical when it comes to healing the physical self. Okay? There's nothing wrong with casting spells, doing rituals, and making incense, and drinking teas and tinctures in conjunction with taking appropriate medications, okay? However, you need to be very careful when drinking teas and taking medications, especially homemade teas that use at least 3 of these ingredients, because you don't know, okay, how is eucalyptus going to affect this antibiotic that I'm on, right? So if you are making a tea of osha root, white oak bark, and eucalyptus leaf and burning some frankincense, make sure that these 3 ingredients, the white oak bark, osha root, and eucalyptus, doesn't interfere with antibiotics, antidepressants, or any other kind of medication you're on. I know osha root will affect a lot of antibiotics, and it will affect a lot of different types of medications. White oak bark is the same, and eucalyptus generally won't, but it does affect some antibiotics, especially those around chest infections, okay? So it's very, very important that you do your medical research, okay? And that you make sure that the herbs that you're using are not poisonous. These ones I will use if I'm on antibiotics or if I'm on any kind of steroids or any type of medication. I will ask the doctor, how does this affect with osha root or eucalyptus or white oak bark? Okay? It's very important that you ask those questions because, you know, if you're drinking this and you're taking those antibiotics, you could have a very, very bad reaction that could put you in the hospital. Okay? So I hope that this video has helped you a little bit. I just want to reiterate that there really is no spell to help you cure the physical self from any ailment. There's only modern medicine. Now, before modern medicine, before, you know, we had doctors that knew what the fuck they were doing in the operating room and weren't just your barber ripping out your teeth while giving you a haircut, we had wise women and wise men who knew the benefits of certain herbs and certain plants and certain resins and how to apply them and how to mix them and so on and so forth. We've really lost a lot of that knowledge of when modern medicine came along, which is both good and bad. But we've also lost a lot of that knowledge with the creation of social media, because everybody's sharing the same spells, the same this, the same that, and everybody's taking everybody at face value, and you're all just a bunch of fucking idiots. But at the end of the day, you know, there is some common understanding that herbal remedies and help using the earth to help you heal is a way of you know, doing things. People used to sage sick people's bedrooms. They used to burn frankincense and rosemary, and, you know, they used to have you bathe in eucalyptus. And one of the common remedies that I like to do if I have a small cut, you know, nothing deep, nothing gashing, nothing gouging, but, you know, you're out in the woods, you get a little cut. I like to take dandelions, and you rip off the head, and all that milk that's there, I'll apply it to the cut. And I've noticed that within about a day, that cut is closed, and, like, practically gone. It doesn't even exist. So I will do that. Coconut oil is another one that helps wounds make sure that they're closed and they're clean, but it can help to remove the scar that may be there, or lessen the scar. So there are various plants in nature and in, you know, the stores that you can buy. It's better if you can pick them from nature and you know what you're doing. But there are various plants and remedies that are out there that you can use. However, it is very, 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 very important that you don't ingest anything or take anything or smoke anything or drink anything, especially if you're sick and you're on antibiotics, that you make sure that what you're ingesting, smoking, or drinking is not going to affect your antibiotics. A common example is those people who go on antibiotics and then go out for a beer at night. You can't really do that. With antibiotics, alcohol affects it. So, I mean, medical research people, okay? So click that link in the description and go over to Lunar Wisdom's video, where she will probably actually have a spell that will heal the physical self. Okay. For me personally, I believe there is no such spell at all. There are remedies that may help depending on the situation, but there is no particular spell that will cure your breast cancer, cure obesity, cure diabetes, cure this, cure that. No, you need to see a doctor. And then if you want to use herbal supplements and, you know, new agey techniques and all that bullshit, then go ahead, because, you know, herbal remedies and whatnot goes back way before this new agey crystal sage blow up my altar with Patreon bullshit, okay? There are plenty of herbal remedies, and there's tons of witches online who talk about them, and I highly suggest that you look them up and make sure you do your medical research, and as well as do the herbal, the magical, the medical research, and see what fits and what doesn't fit, and what works and what doesn't work. But also make sure that the most important thing that you do is the medical research, especially if it comes to the physical self in some way, because ingesting a herb or a root or a bark or even a resin can make you very, very, very sick.